Studio Ghibli films are celebrated for their enchanting animation, profound themes, and just attention to detail to general storytelling. But what makes us want more? At any moment, Hayao Miyazaki could throw in the towel and stop making films completely. I was under the impression that The Boy and the Heron would be his last film. Yep, and now he's writing another one. How wrong was I? It's the perseverance which keeps me wondering, what drives this artist to continue to make the films he does? He's basically made every story under the sun at this point. He's collaborated with some incredible storytellers under the Studio Ghibli name, which has subsequently produced more fantastic films, even if some were a little bit divisive. So in this video, I thought I would break down all of the things about Studio Ghibli I love, and how it's taught to the audience in very unique ways. Ways which made Studio Ghibli become Studio Ghibli. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, it means a lot. The first thing I wanted to talk about was nature. A lot of Ghibli films address environmental issues, and they emphasize the importance of living in harmony with nature. Ghibli films are just consistently lush, vibrant. You can see these beautiful landscapes everywhere you look. Sometimes it's on a small scale, sometimes it's on a ridiculously large scale, like Princess Mononoke. Princess Mononoke is probably my favourite Ghibli film, at least right now. My opinion always seems to change. It's all about the conflict between industrialization and the natural world. It shows the devastating effects of human activities on the environment and the struggle to find a balance. Some people fight for that balance, while others seek to prioritize greed. It's kind of like in Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind. This portrays a post-apocalyptic world where the protagonist, Nausicaa, seeks to understand and protect the toxic yet beautiful forest and its creatures. Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind is amazing, and it's one of the Ghibli films which really push the idea of preservation and how humans and nature, no matter how hostile it may look at first, should coexist. I say this because the forest Nausicaa is trying to protect is toxic to humans, but it's beautiful, and it's something which needs to be understood rather than be destroyed or have its inhabitants enslaved. Not only is nature fantastic for the cinematography aspect, I mean all of these films use nature in the best way possible to look as beautiful as possible, but I like to think this is Miyazaki taking a step back and telling the audience, look, nature was here before us, so you should respect it. Ghibli films often present nature as a living entity with its own spirit and consciousness. This spiritual connection shows up all the time, from the smallest creatures to titular characters. My Neighbor Totoro depicts a forest inhabited by your boy Totoro. It's a gentle forest spirit that befriends and helps the main characters, Mei and Satsuki. Alongside looking absolutely adorable, Totoro has many lessons to teach to the girls. In Spirited Away, Chihiro discovers numerous nature spirits, such as the river spirit she helps clean, which symbolises the purification and respect for natural bodies like rivers, which becomes a main plot point later on in the story. Spirited Away is a great example of how nature is used alongside mythology. There's a kind of symbiosis of the two, and humans are kind of pushed into this environment and they need to learn how to work with it. In a way, how to respect it, how to respect this whole different world, whole different culture. If you approach it as a greedy person and you want everything in the world, you're gonna be turned into a pig. Ponyo is a coming-of-age film, and it shows the friendship between a human boy and, of course, the fishy princess. Ponyo as a character highlights the bonds humanity has with the Earth's oceans, alongside just being a really cute story. You've got Pompoko, which is centred on a group of raccoon dogs whose habitat is threatened by urban development, and this reflects on the loss of natural spaces due to human expansion. Howl's Moving Castle includes themes of war and industrialisation, with scenes showing how these elements can disrupt and damage the natural world. Through these storytelling techniques, Studio Ghibli not only showcases the beauty and importance of nature, but it also instills a sense of wonder, respect, and kind of responsibility towards the environment and its audience. The second thing I think Studio Ghibli teaches really well is the idea of the human condition. Something which makes storytelling a bit more meaningful, a bit more of a worthwhile watch to people, is to have some kind of development. Development allows us to start from a point and then end up in a different point with a completely new perspective. Sometimes it's a bad perspective, sometimes it's kind of a good one. Depends what kind of film you're watching, I guess. Studio Ghibli captures the human condition through a variety of techniques and themes. Ghibli films feature complex characters with strengths, weaknesses, and whilst many of these stories are fantastical, others can be very down to earth. Only Yesterday is an example of how someone's childhood experiences can seep into adulthood. Is Taiko looking to forget everything, looking to escape her past? Does she mourn it? Does she try to re-experience it? These are all questions Takahata asks the audience within his work. Studio Ghibli works with so many different characters in so many different scenarios and perspectives. I love all of the Ghibli characters because you can actually hear the voice of the director in these characters. Sometimes you can tell if it's a Miyazaki character, and other times you can definitely tell if it's a Takahata character. But when I think of Ghibli antagonists, I don't think of innately evil people. I don't think evil is ever a word in Ghibli, more just misunderstood. Ghibli films often incorporate elements of Japanese culture and history, which makes complete sense, they are a Japanese company. I really found this grounds their stories in a specific context, which in turn enhances their authenticity. The tale of Princess Kaguya was based on ancient Japanese folktale, and it uses cultural traditions to explore universal themes of happiness and human desires. This also means the characters are morally ambiguous. Often there are no clear villains. Instead, we are presented with complex motivations and moral dilemmas reflecting the intricacies of real-life decisions. Studio Ghibli also highlights the beauty and significance of mundane activities. I feel like this is why a lot of people feel nostalgic when they watch a Ghibli film, even a newer one, because they often capture the innocence and wonder of childhood through simple, everyday moments. It's kind of why I like Slice of Life so much. Through these techniques, Studio Ghibli captures the essence of the human condition. They create films which are emotionally resonant, they're thought-provoking, and just universally appealing, like everyone can enjoy them. The last thing I wanted to talk about was impermanence. Impermanence is something which is dabbled in like every Ghibli film. It might be hidden under the bonnet, it might be the most prevalent thing you see. It's the idea that suffering is necessary, that we have to kind of go through really bad things in order to learn to become better people. Studio Ghibli frequently explores themes of loss and memory, emphasizing how experiences and loved ones are transient. All the characters find significant challenges in their own way, but they find the strength within themselves and even their communities to overcome whatever challenge it might be. The studio's films often focus on that fleeting beauty of just moments and experiences. Going back to Tale of Princess Kaguya, it uses delicate watercolour-like animation to visualise the many transitions of Kaguya's life, like the fleeting moments of happiness and also the sorrow she experiences. Grave of the Fireflies is a dark but powerful film directed by Isao Takahata. It portrays the impermanence of life through the tragic story of two siblings during wartime. It explores profound emotions such as love, loss, fear, and joy, all before that somber ending, which leaves everyone in tears. While this is a story of two characters trying to stay together, you also see this loss in the dissolution of relationships. It's something I think heavily inspired the works of filmmakers such as Makoto Shinkai, who has gone on record to say that Miyazaki is one of his greatest inspirations. I think he's a lot of people's inspiration. A lot of filmmakers shy away from the idea of suffering now because it can come across as just a little bit pandering if that's the only thing you're going for. But when you mix it with great characters, which Studio Ghibli does, they can make it work really well. You have to remember the culture Studio Ghibli has been inspired by is mainly Buddhism, mainly Shintoism. It's that idea that impermanence is required to live a more fulfilling life. Ghibli constantly provides us with visual symbolism. Falling cherry blossoms or flowing water, and the changing sky are recurring motifs. It emphasises the transient beauty of nature and life. Who the characters were before, they are no longer that person now, and things continue to move forward, because it must. Like, that's just how things are. Studio Ghibli films teach us to embrace impermanence. They show us that change is an inevitable part of life. By accepting the transient nature of our existence, we can find peace and appreciation in every moment. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and take care.